from the past and the future. This gift can bring fame and fortune.
Will somebody take me in your eyes?
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
Your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
Yes, I lied to you.
I don't believe in magic. Ghosts, demons.
What's going on? What's going on? We are back and we are live. And yes, one of my most anticipated movies coming out this year, Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. Definitely been looking forward to this. Shout out to anybody that's coming through tonight. What's going on, the deal?
What up? Happy 420.
Happy 420, happy Easter. You know, on the same day. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to my sister's house and I had baked the cake. I said, Happy 420. The cake is edible. She was like, for real? I was like, no, there was not.
Oh, damn. I was about to say, oh, yeah, y'all probably about tighten. So there wasn't nothing in the cake. It was a straight cake.
No, there was nothing in the cake. It was a junk.
Oh, okay.
I just like the junk out stupid stuff like that.
Well, I
Plus, she got. Plus, it was a house full of children. No. Nah, I will be making a rum cake soon, though, so that ain't for the kids.
Oh, okay. But yes, man, happy 420, everybody. Happy Easter. But Sinners, definitely been looking forward to this, and my expectations were not let down. If anything, I think my expectations were took up a little bit as far as what he was able to do with the movie. And I hope y'all out here supporting it.
I have not listened to anyone else's review about it because one, I didn't want spoilers, and two, I didn't want to be influenced by their opinion, you know. So I have not watched anybody say anything about it. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that really goes seek out trailers. So it ain't like I watched the trailer over and over and tried to figure shit out. I was just like, I just hope it's enjoyable. But I can see it's like while I'm sitting there watching the movie, I analyze it from two different points of view. And it's like I can see how people would be like, I ain't feeling this. Why the fuck was it 2 hours? Why the hell is it always set in slave times? You know what I mean? Shit like that. I understand those critiques because yes, that came to my head too. Like this couldn't be set in modern day. And then also like because it honestly could have been set in modern day. Think about it, because like when we want our own space as Black people, you think about it. It could have been set in modern day, but
it could have been the cops. Well, yeah, I ain't gonna wait till I get to the end, but I get what you're saying because it could have been the cops instead of what ended up happening or whatever.
Oh no, I gotta point out some of the dialogue, man, because two things that made me
Ryan Coogler is nasty.
Laugh. No, I ain't gonna say them right now, but I'm gonna get to when we get to those points. Sir.
You might have to talk about Ryan Coogler and his dialogue and his writing.
No. Look, all this shit started last year with them wanting the kids to say crazy shit because we had the little demon girl on Late Night with the Devil. We had home dude from them talking crazy.
The Deliverance, yeah. It's been a lot with the Black horror movies too. Yeah, you on to something, yeah. But I think we be wanting to stand out with our dialogue because it's coming from our point of view.
First of all, our dialogue is it's always been ours and it's always been appropriated. Because, like I said, do people that use Debo know the fuck who Debo is?
I'm gonna say something. By the way, we doing spoilers. This is spoilers. I'm sorry if I didn't put in the caption, but we are doing spoilers tonight. when you talk about dialogue, it's a scene in here when, once again, spoilers, one of the twins, as far as Michael B. Jordan character, Smoking Stack, when he turned to he in the closet, he like, oh, y'all gonna lock pimping in here like this? I'm like, what? Where does dialogue come from in the 1930s? Did he not, or did he say pimping when he was like locked in the closet?
Okay. So when I was watching this reminded me of 3 different things, but for some reason I can't remember the third thing. And if I remember it, I'll tell you. But movie wise. So Idlewild. This reminded me a lot of Idlewild. And then now that you say that, huh? And now that you say that, it's so funny because like I couldn't understand like with Idlewild, like the music they were doing, like the lyrics were talking about up-to-date stuff, but it was like the 1930s. So this like, come on.
That's like, you know, when Lovecraft Country was doing what they was doing and they had modern day music.
That's the other one that reminded me of.
But I get what they were doing as far as Sinners when he did that scene, which we're gonna get to and talk about, which I really like that scene. But
they gonna stop giving.
When you had mentioned certain things that you feel like could take people out of the movie, I feel like that's a good point because if anybody felt like, what the fuck, why is these showing this modern daytime scenes when this music scene where you got the guitar coming in, then you got the African scene with they showing the whole display of different cultures from different times or whatever. And I could have seen how that might have took somebody out of the movie. It is what it is. It didn't take me. I get what he was doing. I damn near wanted to rewind that scene so I can catch some of the different elements of music he was talking about, and the way he kept blending in the cultures, as far as even the Chinese culture and Japanese, what's the name or whatever, and what was the other one? Well, I already say the African cultures and what he did with that, but more so the rock and roll and all of that. But yeah,
like I said, they gonna stop giving us money to make movies because we telling a lot of shit. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, you trying to make this woke? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But if you see what I see, you will understand what I'm saying. Rise. It kind of reminded me of like how they was doing with Rise when they were showing the kids crumping, and then how they would show like the Africans doing a similar type of dance. And I just love that because it's just like it's so wild that we can be from different continents and be all over this earth, but yet we still have some commonality in our bodies. Remember, and I'm trying to tell you how crazy that is because I saw some girls like doing like the little hand clap thing, and the American girls was doing their words to it, and then the Brazilian girls started doing their words to it. It was the same hand clap, different words though, and I was like, wow. Wow. So we really do be remembering.
And you gotta understand, Ryan Coogler is young, and the fact that he doing all of this as far as blending them different cultures in, as far as the music, all coming together as far as the thing with blues, knowing that message too, like it's so many different messages that he was able to throw in as far as the music and the whole thing with white people taking our music as far as black music and turning it into their own thing. Hell, remember the 5 Heartbeat scene?
But for real, this like the music industry has done black people so fucking dirty. So fucking dirty. They took so much from us, and what do we own now? I'll wait.
We're gonna dive into it. Plot wise though, for anybody, of course, y'all, if anybody not seen the movie, I would think the way it's being talked about. Smokestack twins, played by Michael B. Jordan. We got 2 brothers returning from Chicago back to Mississippi. He went away for a while in 1932. And I like some of the references they were making. If anybody know about Al Capone, seemed like they were saying that they had been working for Al Capone and they robbed somebody, and they pretty much were taking their ass back to Mississippi because I'm thinking maybe they robbed him. I'm not sure, but I like the way they do
they definitely robbed somebody. I love it when they put real world shit in like this whole fantasy type of world to try to tie it in. But yeah, he did a good job playing himself twice, you know, with slightly different personalities. I was like, look, he doing the Lindsay Lohan.
Basically, you got one that's
Parent Trap.
somewhat chill, on point, and you got one that's very loose, ready to just go. And he was funny. The way he was able to make the other dude sound funny and make the other one very, very serious. I was caught off guard a little bit at first, but I was good once we started to get into them interacting with each other and the way they were able to pull it off. Shout out to the technology.
Hey, did people need subtitles or did they understand the country? Because I try to tell when they say we be speaking a different language, we low-key do. We really do.
But these brothers returned to Mississippi to start up a juke joint. And they trying to do some recruiting. They got a cousin named Sammy, aka Preacher Boy. And this is this actor's first role, if I'm not mistaken. And
it is.
Once he start talking, I'm like, oh, okay, he can blow. This nigga can sing. Obviously can sing, but his voice do not match.
He sound like Giveon. That's what he was remind me of. And I know people talk junk about Giveon voice, and I'm like, it's unique. I don't want everybody to sound like Usher. Damn. Nothing wrong with Usher. As far as vocally, I ain't gonna get into no personal shit. Anyway.
And he was on some Anthony Hamilton shit, the way he was sounding. But he came in there talking and had that southern, that deep southern in him too, the way he was talking. But
first of all, congratulations on the accents. I'm trying to tell you, because like people think it's easy to do a southern accent. No, because most people that try southern accent, y'all sound like hillbillies. Let's be honest. And I swear, every person that's like not from the South, like not from a southern state, and they try to do a southern accent, they just sound like hillbillies. And I'm just like, that's kind of insulting. Yo, they probably hung around some people, like hang around some people from Mississippi. Because like, for real though, like I'm serious, like every southern state has their own type of southern accent. And then like, if you get very specific about like the regions, like, because the mountains, like the mountain region of North Carolina is way more country than the Piedmont region. And then you got a lot of Yankees in the coastal plain and shit. So, you know.
Some of them vampires. But yes.
Did she say she was from North Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
They said they from North Carolina. They is from the Appalachian Mountains.
In the theater, I said, no, these niggas is not from North Carolina.
You know they up there. They from the mountains. They them mountain people.
Yes, man. Smokestack Twins are coming down to recruit a couple of people for some music, including their cousin. Another blues player played by Delroy Lindo, named I think it's Smile. Oh, my bad.
Damn, what was his name? No, let me pull up IMDb. Not a sponsor.
Make sure I had everybody's name, but he is definitely one of my favorite characters. And shout out to Delroy Lindo, Delta Slim. Yeah, he's playing Delta Slim. And man, the way they have him telling this story in here about one of his friends, and they having a background noise, and you already, once again, without even seeing nothing, and you getting these images in your head while you telling this story about his friend who got lynched for he did steal, but I forgot what they did, but he didn't do it the way the people said he did it. And of course, him going into extra details about what happened to him. But just another thing of them going into connection with them and the whole thing with the blues and the songs they sing. But it's definitely a lot of setup, and I didn't mind it at all as far as getting our character development.
I feel like it would have felt rushed.
Sammy.
I feel like it would have felt rushed without the setup. But I did like how they was going, like how they saw how basically they was going around, and it's like they brought the community together. Like that's all we be trying to do is gather and mind our black ass business. Fuck, nobody will leave us the fuck alone.
No. We're gonna talk about that too, because the thing about even the way this movie is, or even the way it's set up as far as the vampires coming in, one way or another, they was gonna have a battle at the end of that night.
Oh yeah.
Even if they was gonna have a battle at the end of that night. So that was interesting too. But damn, what I was about to say. 420, y'all. My bad. But yes, it's the setup. This definitely, if Ron Coogler took any references from any movies, he definitely took a lot of references from Dusk to Dawn, because a lot of this is set up just like from Dusk to Dawn, as far as these outlaw brothers. The whole thing with them being not really on the run, but they kind of on the run because they just left Chicago after robbing.
They on the run from Chicago, but they ran back to their hotel.
Yeah. But I feel like he definitely took a lot as far as the way he set up the whole thing with Dusk to Dawn. It's a lot of buildup before they get to the vampires. It's a whole bunch of setup, a long run before they get to the vampires. And this is a lot of similarities to what he did as far as Ryan Coogler with Sinners, as far as this whole buildup and setup with getting to know these characters and wanting to care about them. Now, once the crazy shit do go down, it's a big difference now. It ain't Dusk to Dawn where you got niggas on stage playing guitars with bodies like Dusk to Dawn. So we got a little bit more deeper, complex stories going on with these vampires than the other ones, give or take, as far as the Dusk to Dawn vampires. But yeah. I want to talk about, once we get to one of my other favorite characters, Mary. Shout out to this young lady, Haley Seinfeld, if I'm not mistaken, that's her name. And I'm not familiar with her, but I think she kind of known, because when she was coming up, people was like, "Oh, I know who she is," or whatever, in the trailers. And I was like, I do not know who she is, but she is somebody I want to be looking out for now, because she got some of my favorite lines in this movie. And the way she be talking shit to Stack.
She played Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy on the Spider-Man movie?
Yeah. From the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, she played a voice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
She been in a good bit of stuff. I've heard her name before, but I couldn't tell you nothing about her because she just another one of them Hollywood women. If you know what I mean.
But I appreciate the character development once again with a character like her, because they if I'm not mistaken, she actually got some black heritage in her as far as the actress. So the way they bring it up in this movie and the way she plays on it and the way she talking to the brothers, because the brothers, her mother basically delivered the brothers and helped raise them.
Wait, who was that in Swarm? It wasn't her in Swarm, but it was somebody else that had like,
I think it was Billy
some
England.
black in them. Damn, who was it? It was the Michael Jackson daughter. Paris Jackson.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just popped in my head. But yeah, man, I like how they was rounding up everybody and like the backstories that you get from them interacting with the people. The funniest one was when they went to get home dude out the fields. Yes. And he was like, if you shut up and I tell you how much money it is, you might. I was like, thank you. Yes, how much money you paying? She said, how much money? Sir, how much? Yes.
Cornbread look back like, but yes, once again, good dialogue, setting up good characters that we actually care about. And like I said, setting up their relationships too, because getting backstories as far as the love life between each individual, as far as Stack and Smoke. Smoke having a kid with Ann. Shout out to my girl Ann. I forgot the actress name, but she come from Lovecraft Country. That whole connection with them having some vampires on there too. So I know probably got a little bit from that too, just a little bit. But yeah, they lost a child together, and Ryan Coogler ain't scared to show no love scenes either. We're gonna get some love scenes. He ain't gonna back away from them either.
I ain't mad at that because it wasn't like super. It wasn't like, you know what I mean. It wasn't like watching P-Valley.
No, it was on some Jason Leary. Like it was too like they in love. Like for real though. Like
you right.
Like, the way they talking, the way she talking about, nigga, you been running around here talking about you ain't seen death, but I put this goddamn mojo roots on your ass, and that shit had me in here like, oh shit, them roots might be real. Nah, but
look, no, I'm telling y'all, they be
real.
sprinkling this. It's all about spirituality, and it's like either you believe it or you don't. But you know,
like I sit
shit
up in the bed
works.
a little bit when she was talking. I did. I was like, oh damn, hold on. Wait a minute. But yeah, and then you got Stack and Mary, him pretty much belling on her, and them kind of having a thing back and forth. But when they in the club, in the group joint or whatever, and they really have a deep conversation, and him actually telling her how much he love her, but the reason he don't want to have that relationship is because of his lifestyle. Like, nigga, I'm out here doing things, and I don't want to put you in that danger. And she like, nigga, I ain't never want to be with no white man. I want to be with you. Like,
oh
hey,
god, that shit was
really
funny as hell.
when she turned into that vampire, you know who she reminded me of? Because she was on some shit like, you out here robbing trains and shit, but you don't want to come take this pussy. I'm like, what?
When you come
I started
around.
thinking about, hey,
And you mean to tell me you don't want to hit this?
Oh, damn.
Boy, come over here and get this pussy.
That
I said,
it's so much I can say about that part of that movie. It's like Jody's stupid. Jody just stupid and childish. Why the fuck was you over there, Jody? Not a chick that she work with, Jody. I'm sorry. Anyway.
I like, shout out to John Singleton. Rest in peace of John Singleton. We love your dialogue too. It's something about our, once again, our black directors. They know how to write that dialogue outside of Tyler Perry. And we man, ooh, what? I'm sorry, y'all. Beauty and Black Part 2 is still coming, y'all.
We gonna get there.
The introduction to our villain Remick. I really like this, and it left me with a lot of questions because I was like, first of all, who is these?
Are we going to get a prequel?
You don't never get back to.
Are we going to get a prequel? Yeah, because remember when she was talking to shit. Smoke. Look, I'm trying to remember which one it is. When she was talking to Smoke and she was talking about the was this the beginning or was this? I don't know. I believe it might have been some exposition at the beginning. Yeah, she was talking about the music and being able to connect with your ancestors, and she was like, the natives call them this, and you know, yeah. So like, yeah, they knew who he was, and they was trying to kill him.
That's Ryan Coogler blending in these different cultures, showing you like that's him also giving people different cultures that what you call it? Damn, I can't think of the name right now, but I thought this was interesting, and I wanted to know more about them. I thought they was gonna come back, but they don't. So I'm hoping maybe we can get something with them, maybe in a sequel or a prequel. But they was definitely chasing his ass. Like I think they had him captured, and he got away somehow because he was flying.
I think, yeah. I believe they was trying to get him to basically burn to death, like they was doing, like he was doing before he got into the house.
But them niggas wasn't trying to let him in either. No matter how white it was, unless it was something with his accent or something. As far as the house he showed up to.
Oh, snap, my bad. But yeah, I feel like they was trying to keep him in the sunlight and he outran them. Because he was like, I thought I could trust him. No.
He's an interesting villain because I did not know he was Irish. So
yeah,
the whole thing with them saying that I did a little homework on the whole thing with them saying that Irish people kind of was like genocide, like they wouldn't, like white people was kind of putting them to the side too. Before
okay,
let me.
Okay, so yeah, white people, yes, white people, blue-eyed, blonde hair, blue-eyed, blonde hair, white people discriminated against redhead people, which are the Irish, and they discriminated against Italians because Italians have dark hair and brown eyes. So basically, they was niggas too. But then white people realized that if they exclude them, then that their race is a really small puddle. So then they was like, oh no, y'all can be white people too. So y'all can come and hate niggas with us. And you know,
and that's what they started to do. That was the crazy. Yeah. That's what they started to do. And the fact that y'all was being treated the same way we were.
Yep. So yeah.
Ryan Coogler throwing that in there because that's kind of where he's coming from as far as his vampire. He's like, yeah, we was treated that way. They came and did some shit like that to my family. He's talking about this, and that's kind of his whole recruitment thing too, with trying to get them join or whatever.
Using cult tactics. Look, I'm trying to. It's so much. He be doing his research. That's what it is. Ryan Coogler be doing his damn research. But yeah, it's like. It felt like when the people come knock on your door and be like.
Yeah, but if you are a black person in that time and you being treated the way you treated, and you got this offer from this, like you forever, and you can gain these supernatural abilities, how hard would it be for you to say nah? Because even when he talking to Smoke, he tempted, but at the same time, it's like my brother has been turned too, which we gonna get to. But yes, once again, I love the way everything is being set up. Once again, once we get to the music, we kind of talked about them with them showing the different cultures from Africa, from the present
the music
to the
was
past,
good.
to the future. Them showing the twerking, like they showing everybody, like all the different.
Exactly, because it's a part of our culture, man. Like that don't just go. That's not just American. That goes back. And I know people like you can't compare the two, and I'm like, it's the same type of movement, but with different intentions, okay? We're talking about the movement, not the intentions, because you can do some movements with no intentions and it does nothing. It's the intention behind the movements. Lovecraft Country.
Once things start to go down, I'm gonna try to talk about a little bit, because I ain't gonna say the movie was perfect for me. I got things that I didn't like. I guess the trailer. That's one of the things I'm gonna say. Don't watch the trailer if you haven't watched the movie, which is too late, I would say. But the trailer gave away too much. It let you know too much, because once I watched, y'all pieced too much shit together. I guess the next thing I didn't like, I ain't gonna necessarily say something I didn't like, but it's just me being a movie person. And like I said, a lot of this took from Dusk to Dawn, so I could say I know who was gonna die. I know pretty much all y'all gonna die, outside of whoever Michael B. Jordan character possibly. But I ended up thinking he gonna end up being a sacrifice, because I think that he gonna try to save sacrifice himself to let the little boy go. And this is me before the movie get to Andy before it's about to get to, because I'm just piecing shit together in my head. I can't help it. That's what I do watching the movie, because I'm thinking, especially with the way the movie started, because you got him showing up as far as Sammy to the church, and I'm like, okay, I'm piecing together how this gonna go. Did that?
I felt like starting at the end and showing us that. I mean, granted, there was still some twists at the end that I didn't see coming, but also I feel like I wasn't trying to think that hard. I was just enjoying the movie. But yes, I do be trying to figure out stuff. But yeah, I knew that they was gonna beat the vampires for some reason. I don't know. It just seemed like it was like at some point you just like, yeah, they're gonna win. And I mean, not even like at the beginning, like. You know what I mean? Like you just be like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
How did you feel once people did start turning to the vampires? Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, it's not scary for me at all. No, it wasn't scary. I did appreciate the hard elements in there, but no, nothing was scary about it. Now, once people start turning to the vampires, I do like the whole thing with the eyes. I like the whole thing what they doing with the eyes or whatever.
I like how they get real nice and like they had this nice attitude about it. Just let me in. Just let me in.
Not even kind of. They self somewhat.
Ooh, the hive mind of it all. Like this is like that's I don't know. Like I be thinking about vampire lore and stuff like that. Like how she was like, you have to kill them one by one. You can't just kill the head one. And I was like, I thought that's from werewolves. Like if you kill the werewolf the original werewolf that turned this werewolf, then I don't know. And I was like, is that vampires though? Because like I don't know, because it worked for the walkers, but technically they White Walkers, but they zombies and like. But
we do get some deposition. We get the whole thing with some of the rules. She started talking about the stakes, the whole thing with you can't invite them, you got to invite them in or whatever. Shout out
eat
to
the garlic.
That was my first time hearing.
Oh yes. Oh my God! As corny as the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie is, I still watch it over.
Hey, I'm talking about the series. I ain't watched the movie.
Oh, the movie is hilariously cheesy. It is. It's
you know why
like
I watch that movie? Because of how I learned. That's why. That's why. Yeah, that's her. I know. I don't forget no face.
Damn it. Why you spoil it for me? Bro, that's like when I first started watching The Perfection. And I was like, I don't like this bitch already. Why don't I like her? I was like, oh, that's the girl from Get Out. Damn, my bad.
I'm like, damn, his name just too close to Remy. Remy. I'm like, hold the hell up, Ryan Coogler. Now, what you doing? You trying to do? Nah, that's too much, y'all. I know he wasn't doing it.
He's stupid.
Y'all remember that scene in Don't Be a Menace? He checking off the names on the list. But yes, this is the kind of villain I do like and appreciate because it's one that make you kind of look at his point of view. Like, oh, I see you. Okay. Because it's the whole thing, like I said, with him trying to recruit them and him using the people that he's already turned to try to get them to come to his side, especially outlaw type of individuals like Smoke and Stack.
Yeah, because they share conscious. Once you're turned by somebody that he's turned, you become like it's a cult. It's a fucking cult. You become hive-minded, and he can read your thoughts. He knows everything that you know or knew, because technically you dead now. But you know that's a whole different thing.
He's got to be somewhat a master vampire, I would think.
Oh
especially
yeah,
he started to turn. Like he seemed like one of the only ones that had claws. And,
first of all, yes, great villain. I feel like he has to be based off of something, like some folklore, because like you when you said he's Irish, and I was like, because that threw me off too. That threw me off with he started doing that threw me off. I was like, is this like some type of Irish demon or something? Like, yes, it has vampiric qualities, but is this more, I don't know, because like I don't think he was just the devil. You know, I feel like that's a southern thing. You get what I'm saying?
Because it's
like, you know, because they're in the South, there's a Bible Belt. Huh?
I said I think it was obvious that he had been turned at some point, but it was a very long time ago. He had to been like one of the first vampire kind of. I would think, because when he was talking to Mary, when she came out there trying to get the gold for Stack them, because they were talking about the way the business was going, because they was trying to let people kind of live. Everybody been working in cotton, whatever. But when he was out there talking to her, he was like, you know, I had this. No, my bad. He was talking to Sammy at the end when he was baptizing him, basically. And he was telling him he had a family that came when he started praying to him, or saying he started saying the verse from the Bible.
Oh,
everybody started saying the verse from the Bible. That's what he was talking about with the whole thing with the connection or whatever.
Yeah, it's a hive mind. Because he was basically, I can't say he was controlling them, but like I guess so. Yeah. Hive mind.
It don't seem like he was controlling them. Like they had kind of their own.
They had free will, but like at some point, like I feel like he, like the White Walkers. That's what I mean. Like how he. I know he was giving me that vibe. Like, yes, because you got to remember, like how he could
personality. They don't do shit. Even the main White Walker don't do shit. He never said a word.
But also, when you killed the main White Walker, it killed all of them. But no, what I mean, like, is basically, I mean, think about it. Tell me he was not like people dying, so now you're a vampire. So, like, I killed you, you're a vampire now. You know, type of, like, raising the dead. Hey, when all the people started coming out the woodwork singing, that shit, I
That damn White Walker, nah, he was on some goddamn beatbox. He was saying a word. But,
he didn't say that.
I like
but no.
some of the scenes as far as people turning. Cornbread was a funny scene because when he attacked the old buddy that they thought had got attacked, but he didn't, and he was trying to get back in, and you had old girl husband coming up there.
They forgot. They forgot that quick that they beat the shit out of that man. They literally beat the shit out of him, and they was like, "Oh, he dead." He was not dead.
Like, come on, baby, I got the car started. We can go in here. You don't see him getting ate. He like, oh yeah, Cornbread. He just be getting home.
Hey, bruh. Oh, and not forget.
They stay the way they look once they get attacked. Ain't no healing. Look like Cornbread was jacked up. Like his face was gone.
Just hanging out.
They don't go for necks all the time. These niggas bite anywhere. But once again, it ain't scary. That's what I will say. Once they turn, I was interested, like I said, as far as the villain and just the way he was trying to recruit everybody. But was we mad at my girl because my boy Remick, he threatening to go to the store to get the Chinese lady daughter.
I wasn't mad at her. I wasn't mad at her per se because, like, when this is a crisis situation, you can't think that everyone's gonna stay calm. Plus, she's a mother, and when you a mama, you think that you can go. You mamas can run through lava to get to their damn kids. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, the strength of a mom's love for her child, and she was about to try to use that, but I was like, man, you're not winning this battle, and that's why they hold her back, because it's like, you're not finna put us at risk, because you got to think about the group, and she like, fuck y'all, my kid.
It's okay, they fault, because they could have let her just go out herself. She was wanting to go get her husband, but she was like, okay, y'all not gonna let me go? Come on in. I'm like, I mean, hey, it is what it is. And at that point, we somewhat get an actual battle. Now, this is another difference from Dusk to Dawn. See, you see the way these vampires ran in? Ain't no, we're going to take off one at a time to attack you one by one. No. Everybody getting attacked. Everybody getting ate up. And I want to know where these extra characters came from that got attacked. Because I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. It was some people that started getting ate that I don't remember being in the barn no more or in the juke joint that had left.
Maybe they was hiding. I don't know. Yo, Sammy and Pearline in the closet in the front room. The dialogue. I could not hold my laugh in. Yes, I love the honesty, and I could not hold my laugh in the theater.
You gotta remember, this is Mississippi, 1932. Yes. You know it was hot.
She said, I walked here. Oh, God.
When Sammy said, hey, I just want to. You said, what?
Bro. I'm sorry.
Greasy.
Yeah, they have been dancing and all of that. Like, oh my God. Honestly, for this to be the South, they look like they look like it smelled good in there. Like the black people, was all shea buttered up and everything. Until they got sweaty.
I don't know, because the way some of these prom parties were sounding like they were smelling. Now I'm just playing. Anyway.
I don't know what I don't know what other people was doing at the prom. I was somewhere.
Real deal. Now I'm just playing.
Yes, real deal.
Anyway, shout out to Ryan Coogler. This dialogue works for me. Once again, it's a difference with Tyler Perry and the way he be writing his dialogue. It's funny though. It's entertaining. Zip the bag up. Zip the goddamn bag up. That shit was hilarious.
That shit was hilarious.
By the way, y'all. Anyway.
Yes, that shit was hilarious. like, who wrote these words for her? And she was seriously saying, we gonna
I
talk
think
about it.
another one of our funniest characters in this movie was definitely Delroy Lindo. Let my boy Sammy go into that closet knowing that Stack was in there smash old girl. He's like, yeah, go ahead, go in. Oh, he busy. But I do like the build up too, as far as our first attack. I knew it was coming, but I did like the build up. And I even like the somewhat emotional impact from the actor from Michael B. Jordan, once again playing himself. And I'm still feeling like he holding his twin brother. I was like, oh shit, that's his twin brother now. And I did like when he came back. Once again, this is the scene I was talking about with the dialogue. Ron Coogler, my boy in there talking about, so y'all gonna keep pimping in the closet. And I'm like, was they really talking like that in the 1930s? But once again, we do get some revelations, and I ain't gonna necessarily call them twists, but the Smokestack twins, once they do show up at the beginning of the movie to buy the juke joint, they are bonded from this white guy, and they are telling him, warning him, basically saying that if any of your Ku Klux Klan people show up on our land after we done bought it from you, we gonna kill them right where they stand. And him telling them that ain't no Ku Klux Klan left.
He said the Klan don't exist no more. I about hollered in the theater, and this was early on in the movie, so I didn't, but I was like, because I was like, bruh, the irony of that statement is if somebody said that to my face right now, I would still laugh because they still fucking exist.
Shout out to AP for coming through. Whatever they was doing, they did it. Especially with the technology, like I said, because once again, Michael B. Jordan had to pull it off for it to work anyway, as far as his acting.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, women coming up there telling them that, you know, this was a whole setup. This was actually a slaughterhouse. They was going to come to kill y'all as far as the Klan. So this is my whole thing with, if they didn't fight these vampires, they were going to end up making some type of fight because the Klan was going to show up that next morning. When they was
ready. But because remember when the vampires first showed up, he said, let's go. He said, did you unload the trunk? And he was like, no. He's like, it's outside still in the truck. It's like, damn. And then when you see what he had in the truck, oh
yeah, they was ready. And you gotta remember,
they was ready. Oh yeah.
Oh, I definitely probably check some of them out. I didn't want to be spoiled by nothing. Shout out to AP. That's definitely check some of these out as far as behind the scenes stuff. And I seen how Ryan Coogler was shouting out Christopher Nolan because he said that's him using the IMAX camera or whatever. I didn't get a chance to watch it in IMAX yet. I want to see it in IMAX, which I might try to do. Got to go to Concord to do this.
Right.
But yes. Once again, this was a lot with Remick trying to recruit them, but he also did put them on game. I mean, he did. It was like, yo, I wouldn't have came. Y'all wouldn't have had to still do it.
But to me, they wasn't totally oblivious. Not even the fact that they was ready. It's the fact that when he was like, why it look like these floors been cleaned? You know, like he went stupid. He was like, it looked like something being cleaned off these floors. Yeah, because this wasn't the first time that they did this shit. Yeah, because they had a Tommy gun, and you know yeah.
I think they were thinking somebody was definitely going to come from Chicago looking for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But still, nevertheless, they was ready. Oh, okay. So he okay.
Watches. Oh, he said he watching in IMAX. Yeah, I gotta check it out in IMAX. But once we get to this final battle, that's pretty much where everybody get took out. Once again, the Chinese lady, hey, she went out, I say the hardest, being set on fire, and she went out the hardest. But,
yeah, she was ready to blow some shit up from the get-go.
Sacrificing himself. He kind of reminded me of the preacher from Dustin 9 that had the family. Seemed like he did kind of the same thing, but I like the little final battle that we had with the twins fighting each other and with Sammy fighting Remick. Well, this is what kind of where we get our baptism. And this is kind of where we get the little references with Remick saying he won't Sammy. Because this was this whole thing. Remick was like, I'll let y'all leave if y'all give me Sammy. Because his music attracted me. And he wants to, he didn't want to necessarily steal his music, but he wants to turn him so he can have his music. Because that's your whole thing with saying they all get connected.
Yeah, that high reference. Say, get out. No, because like he wanted to be home dude because of his talent. And anyway, so like I said, man, it's just so much. There's so many little gems in this, and I love it. If you read into it, you see.
Yep. Like I said, that's why I want to watch it again, because I want to catch stuff that I know I didn't catch the first time me watching it, with the little hidden messages or whatever. But once we get to that final battle of the vampires, we get which I guess we can say right now. I say right now, Smoke gets the upper hand on Stack, and I did like the kind of emotional dialogue that they had with each other, with him saying, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you," and Smoke telling him, or Stack telling him, "You did." But then we get Sammy and Remick. And this is where I was like, when Sammy hit him in the face with the guitar, and you know the whole thing with Silver and vampires or whatever, and that's when we was kind of getting our deposition.
Silver.
This is what
I thought that was Werewolf. She's supposed to kill him with a silver bullet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, you're right. But that's when she was doing the deposition, she said Silver can hurt him or kill him, I guess.
Okay.
So he definitely had some type of some tragic.
I mean, all the different vampire lores out here is always something different with some of them. So,
and even them feeling the same pain when he got hit in the head or whatever. But it was him even looking more so like some Dracula transformation type shit, because you can see like his fangs starting to get bigger.
Them hands.
But even the way he dies, because Smoke do show up to stab him in the heart with the stake or whatever. And he kind of go out slower than the other vampires do. But this is kind of where it looked like everybody was kind of disposed of as far as all the vampires or whatever.
Well, like she said earlier, you have to kill them one by one. You can't just kill the head vampire. The only reason the other people died is because the sun came up. That's the other thing it reminded me of, Midnight Mass, because you remember at the end how they all just, I mean, they ain't had nowhere to go. All the buildings have been burned down, so it's just like they accepted their fate. Even with the whole
thing with the religion thing too. Midnight Mass, that's a good reference. I even say a little bit of them. Shit, I throw Demon Knight in there a little bit. Even with them, everybody who got to survive the night, and throwing that whole thing with the black, because this was directed by a black dude too, and we had a black survivor at the end. Shout out to her. We even had a black demon showing up that couldn't get on the bus. But yeah,
nah.
Hey, the way he gave it that, I'll never forget this. That was the Demon Knight. One of my favorites. Yeah, so make sure y'all go check that review too on the Loki Cave. But I like the ending of this. It took me off guard, because that's one thing I don't mind about the trailers, because that's the trailers. I'm thinking like, I always was confused. I'm like, if these are vampires, who the fuck is he fighting at the daytime? Because that scene always took me off as far as the trailers when he was doing the shooting and shit. But this is what Remick was talking about as far as the clan showing up. And damn, I not love this scene. And I was sitting in the theater where these niggas, they went off. Yes, these niggas went off.
It's funny.
Close the door.
It's so funny because I'm just like, I wonder how white people feel watching this scene. Because for me, like, I was like, am I smiling too
Hey.
hard? But I was just like,
I was looking at my theater and the white people was doing it too. Everybody was in there doing the same thing. Like even when they played the music, them niggas was getting up. Like I was like, what theater am I in? I'm sitting in my recliner. Like,
right. Lay back.
I'm sitting in my recliner. Like, okay. Well, yeah. Once we get to the end, we get the little battle. Well, not a little battle, we get the big battle. Oh, I do hope they do a sequel. Like I said, we're going to talk about that too. As far as we do get an end credit scene, we're going to definitely talk about that and what we could possibly get with a sequel. Shout out AP for coming through. But yes.
Hell, even a prequel, because like we said about the natives.
If y'all have ever seen a movie called Wind River, this scene reminded me of that. I know you probably ain't seen the deal, but it's a very good movie. It's got a certain thing with elements of Indian culture in there. A lot of heavy Indian cultural references in there. It's a good movie too. It's a heavy movie too. But anyway, this scene reminded me of it. The way Michael B. Jordan showed up with that sniper rifle in the woods and started taking them niggas out, and they didn't hold back as far as showing the blood, guts, and gore, and the way this nigga was shooting with the Tommy gun, the grenades, and everything. I almost thought like y'all can't aim or something because this nigga ain't got no vest, nothing on it. He came out
exactly.
He came out just black, but he do get hit in a very sensitive spot. But I think at this point he didn't care.
No, he didn't. He was ready to join his family. That's what he was ready to do. Which that was a beautiful thing.
Yes. Before we get to the scene where he trying to hold a baby that they lost, the scene where he trying to roll up the cigarette, because I didn't pay attention to that. The fact that his brother was always rolling up the cigarettes with him, and he was passing it to him, and he couldn't do it because of him being in the army. His hands was always shaking, and I was like, "Damn, that was good."
I like how this only went up. This was a whole day. Like we got it was one day, because like when it first started and it was like earlier that the day before, and I was just like, oh, so we about to watch it just one day thing and not like weeks and months and you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
That's why I feel like he did take a lot from dusk to dawn, because that was a whole span of 24 hours. But once we get to the end, as far as my boy getting hit with that one bullet, we got the the racist man on the ground, the white guy trying to beg, the one who tried to sell him the building. Why my boy trying to hold his baby in heaven? He trying to pass on it. My boy still trying to offer money. He hit him with that gun. I was like, damn. Ron Cool.
Yeah.
But
and like I said, that part made me think about Lovecraft Country, because you remember how it ended when she choked whole girl. I was like, that's why I said, oh, they gonna stop giving us money to make movies now, damn it.
Y'all already I ain't gonna say they take because I feel like still maybe that was the whole thing with this not enough views or something possibly. I don't know. That was a good ass show, man. I wouldn't mind seeing
it. Really
Tubi.
was.
Shout out to Tubi.
I swear, every time Tubi is doing it again. Every time I keep talking about a movie that I can't find anywhere, it show up on Tubi.
Oh, we never like coming through AP. Yes, definitely. It was a lot there. Outside of the crazy shit Dusk to Dawn turned into, because once the vampire stayed, we had a man there with a gun for a penis. Like Dusk to Dawn was on some different types. It was different. Like then werewolves. Vampires started turning into the werewolves, like a dog or whatever it was that he turned into.
It was too much. It was too much.
But they actually had a little bit of some Mexican references in there too, with their whole cultural references saying that they have been doing certain things for a long time. You know, when they started to do the pan out and they had a pyramid in the back. But that's a whole nother thing. Shout out to From Dusk to Dawn. Once again, I think I'm trying to work on the movie verses for y'all with it. I'm thinking about doing From Dusk to Dawn versus 30 Days a Night. But anyway, once we get to the end, Sammy and him walking into the church with his daddy, and him still holding on to what's left of his guitar after beating Remy head ass. He's still holding on to it. And
it's so crazy how they kept telling him to give up on it though. Like, and I get it because you know what? What I was getting for that is the evils of the music industry and how it'll suck you for your life, you know? So I feel like they was like, no, don't, like, yes, you have a gift, but like, just use it for the church. Just like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a lot of things that people say to Southern people, you know, like, why don't you do your music this way? Why don't you give God the glory?
I want to steal it, but you did make a good point as far as them making reference to that, as far as his daddy telling him, like, if you keep doing what you're doing, as far as the music you making, devil gonna show up. And the reference to what you get today and the whole thing with, I ain't want to say sexy reds and all that, but you know what I'm saying, as far as the type of we enjoy, we listen to. The drill music and all of that.
Yeah, I feel like they was talking about basically when she was talking about the lyric, what was she saying? Oh, the music connecting us to our ancestors and spirits and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, like depending on who you pull it from or what you pull it from, and that, like that you was talking about the lyrics, and you know, yeah, it's subconsciously, yeah.
You know, when they in there in the juice joint and the blues and the shit they singing about, they in there drinking or whatever, sex, all of that, you know, that's as far as what everything leading to sin, basically sin. But
I don't know, because she was a spirit worker, so like she very well could have manifested there, because she said that he when she accepted the fact that she was gonna die, she said that basically she got somebody on the other side waiting for her, and you do too. So like maybe she was coming to get him, and I don't think anyone else could see her. I feel like only he could see her. So I feel like it really did happen. Or I mean, hell, it could have been a hallucination for losing blood.
No, because you remember early in that scene, as far as when they first got to the juke joint, and she did the whole thing with the board or whatever, and she kind of had that premonition of seeing what was about to happen or what was coming.
Oh yeah, she was. It's called bone reading. Like you have bones in a bag, you toss them, and the way that they land tell you something. I try to. It's a whole lot of. This is the stuff that people be like, that's witchcraft. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft rituals. She ain't praising no devil. She's not a Satanist. She's not a demon worshiper. It is a part of divinity, and it is connecting to spirits. It does not mean evil spirits. It's spirits. Like I said, it's all about intention. It's all about intention and who you're worshiping, because certain entities will require certain things, and certain entities won't require you to like kill people and sacrifice and have blood sacrifices. Like, chill. Like, that's not all entities, but like people just put everything on the umbrella of witchcraft, and I'll be like, Christians pretend to drink blood and eat flesh, and they be like, but that's a symbolic and I'm like, that's still a ritual. Stop trying to disconnect the two. It's all rituals. I mean, but do you just don't hate on nobody else?
True. If I'm answering your question, AP, I personally think that he was dying and he was seeing him, because she had already died and the baby had died. So I think at that point he was dying, so he started actually seeing them at that point.
I don't know. Have anyone ever talked to anybody that had a near-death experience and what they was experiencing when they were quote unquote dying? I mean, I have. That's why I'm asking. And I know that's like a crazy question to ask somebody, but like, yeah, I've actually talked to somebody that had a near-death experience, and they was just like, I just felt at peace and I was accepting it.
That might have been my experience, but I think because I didn't see anything, it was black.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. I'm
just being honest, y'all. I didn't, but I was younger when that happened. But anyway, if the talent comes from God, wouldn't it be a sin to waste it? It depends on how you use it. I would say, I guess, how you use.
That's what I said. It's all about the intention, because everything can be a blessing or a curse depending on how you use it and what your intentions are with using it. It's a lot of people that are like clairvoyant and they don't even know it. So one, they don't grow it, or two, somebody told them it was a demon and they prayed their gift away, because you can like block your gifts from you if you don't use them or grow them or use them with good intention on. But that also goes back to who are you worshiping.
As far as the end credit scene, Sammy, we get him up to date, older in 1992 if I'm not mistaken.
Sammy say he ain't letting the music go. I was like, damn, Sammy.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually played by an actual blues player.
Love it.
Appreciate it, AP. Yeah, because like I said, she had roots and stuff. So but he took that off when he started shooting them. So I don't think that's another reason why I don't think none of that was working no more.
He was ready to go. He didn't want to live anymore. His brother gone. He told Sammy. I mean, technically his brother is dead though. He is the living dead at this point. So his brother gone. He trying to get Sammy on the right path. The woman he loves gone. His child gone. They ain't got no parents. So yeah, he was. That's why he took the mojo bag off, because he was like, he don't want to live no more. And if this is his last battle, then he proudly goes out this way. So I feel him.
I really enjoyed the end credit scene because I didn't expect it. Like I said, I thought everybody, as far as the vampires, had died, but I did forget that she had said that as far as you have to kill them one by one. But I thought all of them was out there at one time when the sun came up.
Yeah. So apparently they dipped.
As far as Stack and Mary, who end up showing up to Sammy at a very, 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 very older age. But what happened was Stack explains to Sammy that him and Smoke made a deal. Smoke didn't kill him. He told him that just stay away from Sammy, let him live out his life. And that's pretty much what he did. And he just asked Sammy to pretty much play him a song. And we got them even in the 1990 wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Loved it. Loved it. And it's so funny because like I was like, why they look vampires? Of course they don't. Of course they look young. Of course they successful. Like
this was some vampire Brooklyn shit right there. This was Kadeem Harris getting in the end of the movie with Pops dropping. Well, which I think that my bad. I should have mentioned Vampire Brooklyn. I didn't want to because I feel like that's more so comedy. But still, you got to throw Vampire Brooklyn there a little bit.
I mean, it was some comic relief in here. At least was. I mean,
and I feel like Vampire Brooklyn had maybe a little bit more horror elements too than this one. Do you think?
Oh God!
This nigga dressed as an Italian Eddie Murphy give and a fat preacher. God damn! Now ass is good. Now this is where I get to sequels, because now this is definitely could set up a possible sequel as far as having Stack and Mary still be alive as far as vampires. Or once again, we could possibly get references to prequel, or we can actually have these Indians and native relatives as far as people who have been as far as building a family heritage and letting them know that these people are around and passing it on. We can have them chasing them down, possibly as far as a sequel. So I think that'll be interesting as far as certain ideas for a sequel, or like I said, a prequel, showing how Remick showed up, or showing how they found him, or how they always knew about vampires or whatever, if they wanted to do a possible prequel. What you think as far as any ideas for a possible sequel or prequel, if you wanted to see one?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page, because we can get some, even though he died, I mean, I would still like to see The vampire character like interact with other people. His origin, like where the hell he came from.
That scene that you talking about, AP, as far as them playing the song with Sammy, and my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off in the deal. It even made me kind of think about doing Interview with a Vampire too. Because I ain't even seen them doing something like that with a sequel, as far as having Stack trying to tell his story to somebody. If they did something like that, as far as what they did with Interview with a Vampire.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
I want to know the reference behind the song he was singing, talking about
so think about the years in between him and Mary, as far as getting to 1992 and what they've been doing.
Oh yeah, that too.
Definitely appreciate you coming.
But yeah, I want to know the meaning behind the song that they were singing when they was talking about weed. What was they saying? They robbed somebody or something like that? The vampires. What was they robbed somebody or something. I forgot the words. But I was just like, this shit is weird and creepy. No.
Oh, you talking about when women showed up to the juke joint singing?
Yeah. And then when they had everybody coming out the woods, they were singing the same thing. It's like, what the fuck is this? See,
they were talking about eating somebody. They were like, he ain't have enough meat, so we wouldn't.
yeah. I was like, what?
Hey, Remy had some bars. Y'all got, Remy had some bars. And when he was out there dancing and singing, I was in the theater a little bit like this stuff kind of hit. Like that was hit. They was all out there. I was sitting out there like, what?
Now, when he was, yes! I was like, somebody kissed me. Oh my God. I thought a love don't cost a thing when he was trying to do the workout.
No, you.
That corny ass movie.
Man, it never goes like that, by the way, y'all. I don't give a fuck what. It never goes like that. Ain't nobody no. It does not go like that at school. I ain't never. And maybe I ain't went to that school. I don't know. Maybe it goes like that in inner city school. I don't know. Maybe be wrong. I don't think so though. I ain't. That's funny. That was a good. I ain't even think about love don't cost a thing. That nigga Cornbread was out there like that with the But even when he saw old buddy, he said, "Oh, look at this nigga." That's what I'm talking about. Where they didn't bite no necks. Cornbread brick this nigga face. But
yeah, and they had Big Mary on the back.
What's good, Tony?
What up, Tony?
Came through, man. We got to get up out of here.
He might be glad if he ain't seen it yet.
It would though. That's a good one though. That would work for a sequel, Tony. TikTok. Now, Stack and Mary out here. Hey, Remy would have took over TikTok with that dance. My man was out there like some Jamie. You remember that Jamie Foxx episode when they was having a battle?
You stupid.
Hey, I was ready to like Remy was out there like God. The way they jumped in the crowd like on some headbuster shit when Remy got like
like Nuggets butt came on.
Man, what Remy was in the middle of the crowd like that? Hey, y'all know the scene. Remy was in the middle like that. But anyway, shout out to Ryan Coogler, man. Make sure y'all go out and support this. I heard it's supposed to be making like $45 million at the box office. Black horror. And good black horror. If this was not a good movie, trust me, we would have been here talking shit about it. I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all know if this was not good, I would have came here and said it. But this is actually a good movie, and I feel like Ryan Coogler is one of the directors that makes it a point to put certain references in there pertaining to black people. He makes it a point in all of the movies. Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, Creed. What's the other one? Wakanda Forever. I'm trying to think. I think that's his catalog. He ain't made too many, but everything top notch. And this is $1 billion movie maker. from Oakland. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. But yes, other than that, we are going to try to be coming through for y'all. I'm trying to have a little schedule. Like I said, shout out to my co-hosts. If we can work through this, we're going to try to be here for y'all. Like I said, this week I'm trying to do Tuesday, possibly, Tuesday, Thursday, and I would say Sunday. If that's cool with you.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He did Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Coogler.
I thought he produced it. I didn't know he directed. Okay.
It's say producer. You right.
Oh, okay. I thought so. I didn't know if he directed it or not. That's another good one though. I know he had his hands on it. But yeah, I would definitely want to come and do some uncut with y'all because there's some trailers out here. I want to talk about the Him trailer. We got some more Black horror coming. My boy Marlon out here about.
Oh yeah.
Be on the real like the thing that he about to do some serious comedy as far as Scary Movie 6, and I'm like, hey,
I love the fact that he can do both. Well, I already know that some of that shit is gonna be unintentionally funny to me because Marlon. Huh? Oh no, it's probably I don't know. Oh gosh. And I see what you mean about the bloodlines. I was like, I still like the premise though. The fact that they going after that one family because none of them should have been born. Yeah. I was like, I still watch it. I'll still watch it. Just don't do no more 3D shit. Please don't. God dang. Anyway, that was
what's going on. I know you didn't like. I know they like Sinners. You know.
Okay, Azo, did you like Idlewild? Because if you didn't like Idlewild, then I see why you didn't like Sinners. But I don't know if he
didn't like the build up. He felt like it just was too slow, and I'm like, it's development.
Yes.
Development. If we went in too fast, we wouldn't have cared who died and what happened.
He couldn't understand. He needed subtitles. That's all it was. He needed subtitles for the country accent. It's okay. Just say that.
My Canadian.
Say it was hard to understand them.
But yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check out Bigger Ford Entertainment. I know he did a review as far as Sinners. And Perk Minded, I know he doing a live review tonight. Make sure y'all go check him out as far as Sinners. I think I might try to slide over there. Have to see. You never seen what? You seen Sinners?
Idlewild. No, he said he never seen Idlewild. He said he never seen Idlewild. I ain't even gonna lie. I just watched Idlewild for the first time like last month.
So I respect your opinion. Like I said, we even tried to talk about some of the things we feel like people might have been tuned out about with the movie, as far as some of the musical points, especially the thing with them showing the past and present and future as far as the music scene. People might have been took out of that. We understood if you took out certain scenes like that. So yeah, we definitely understand, man. We understand, but just not liking the movie, no. But this
man also didn't like Note, didn't he? He didn't like Note, did he?
I don't think so. I mean, I kind of can look at people who don't like certain movies like Nope and even Us. Like, I didn't like Us.
I understand Us. I don't like Us because like there's no point to it. It's like so whatever. Nope was not trash.
You don't like story development, See that I told you. We got story development with multiple characters, and it went to me that long. And it was an interesting story. Like for me, I'm gonna be honest. Take the vampires out of this movie and say we just dealing with these two brothers trying to start at this juke joint, but they trying to deal with this community as far as getting these people in here, but they got the Ku Klux Klan trying to stop them, whatever. I could have watched that movie. I'm just being honest.
Would you have liked it better if it was in modern times? But yeah, us isn't trash. It's just there's no point. So they wanted to spread their hands across America because of a shirt. Like seriously.
Man, nope. I like Nope. I thought the whole thing with the way the aliens was devouring people was very disturbing. I like that. I definitely enjoyed it. I did like that. I was like, yes, give me something like this. Make me want to look away, but I can't. Shout out to everybody that came through tonight. Definitely shout out AP. Shout out to Bigger Four and them. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to anybody else that came through tonight. And once again, I thank Perk Minded doing the live tonight. Make sure y'all go over there and check him out. And like I said, this week, I'm trying to do Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So, like I said, I'm going to holler at my co-host. We're going to talk about it. And more than likely, we'll be through here for y'all. I am trying to do this little Beauty in Black Part 2. I'm trying to get that done. I had to set up, but I had to.
And I gotta flip it. I ain't had time to sit down and watch Black Mirror. Yeah.
We gotta do that. Gotta do Black Mirror.
I'm gonna get on it. I will get on it. So I'm assuming this season was better than last season. You still haven't went back and watched all the old seasons, have you?
I have been. Since I watched the newest one, I've been going back and watching them.
Okay, did you watch the Black Museum?
I don't think I got to that one yet.
That's the one with Shuri from Black Panther. Oh God! Look, he like I gotta explain myself.
I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes.
That's one of my favorite ones. How far have you gotten? What's the last one you didn't watch? I'm just curious because the old seasons is
I actually rewatched season 6 because I like the vampire episode. I mean the werewolf episode.
The werewolf episode, yeah.
And the last one I watched was the one with my boy out Snowfall, the Black London dude that was stuck in the car. Because I said I didn't like it, so I wanted to go ahead and finish it. So I went in and watched it. And it was kind
that's one of the worst ones. That's one of the worst ones. That one is boring as hell. That one and the I didn't care. I ain't want to spoil it. It's just about the robot dogs. I didn't care for that one.
I ain't saying nothing. Here you go.
Explain yourself,
What's going on,
before I snatch your black card.
Okay. Hold on. So before I say anything, movie had a lot of good stuff in it. The music was great. Cinematography was great. Acting was great. It was boring. It took an hour before we got into some vampire stuff. I'm sorry, but it's a vampire movie, right? You could have did so much more. You could have cut out at least 30 minutes of the first half and made it a better movie. There's so much
stuff. If this has sequels, then all of that was purposeful.
If it has sequels, which it probably could, and I'm not saying it's not purposeful, but there was a lot of stuff that they could have cut down on. 2, we get to the end.
You didn't like the whole setup with the brothers and getting to know them, or even the setup with Sammy and getting to know him and the whole thing with his story with his father and him wanting to play music and all of that.
Well, no, I didn't really. I mean, yes, it was good. All the setup was good, but you could have done that in like 30 minutes. It didn't need to take an hour to set up all of these players that you have in the show, right? Then second off, we get to the last part of the movie, right? Where the vampire has the preacher man in the water, and all of a sudden Michael B just shows up behind him. I'm like, how the hell did you get there? And how did you get behind all of these vampires that were standing around watching? Like, how did you get there?
Oh, hold on. Okay, I might.
How did you get there?
This is what I was talking about with the hive mind shit. Because, like I said, at some point, can't he like control them because he's making them say what he's saying? So is he not like? Are they not like zombified at that point?
Okay, So if that's the case,
Yeah.
then Michael B. Jordan's vampire should have never agreed to leave Preacher Man alone if they were a hive mind, right? Because he said, I'll let you live if you leave him alone, right? So if he had a hive mind, Michael B. Jordan's character would have turned around and bit his ass right as he let him up, right? Because it's a hive mind.
No. Was he under that spell at that point in time, or was it just the people that were outside?
No,
because he was acting. No, it's not. It's not always hive mind. It's something that the main one can tap into. So if he's tapped into it, and he like how he had everybody outside dancing and singing and stuff like that, and they all knew the words. And then when he was doing repeating the Lord's Prayer with Sammy, how they were all repeating it too. Now, during that time, was Michael B. Jordan still fighting himself? Because if he was, then home dude wasn't tapped into the hive mind. So apparently there's a radius for that shit. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying about poking the holes and the technicality of shit. But I'm just saying, like, I gotta see the visual.
But you see what I'm saying is you're making that up in your mind. We don't necessarily.
No, I'm not. Right? I'm just saying I only watched the movie once, so I don't know at what point of time who was doing what. But they do have a but hive mind doesn't mean that they all have to act all the time.
So you can turn it on and off whenever, right? No,
the person that controls them can turn it on and off.
No, because we talk about it from all the time. If it's a hive mind, then the creature should know certain things, right?
Okay, so then it's not hive mind. It's parasitic, like a parasite. Okay, let me explain.
Either way, I'm gonna say this.
If y'all watch the show I watch, I'm trying to tell you. Okay, it's a show called The Magicians. In The Magicians, this person goes to another world. They get a fungus. The fungus can spread to other people, but the fungus also can contain itself. So the fungus can make the other people do certain shit, but then also like they can like not control their mind at certain point of times, and they can act like themselves, or they can make them act like themselves. So it's like they have free will, but they don't, because like they can get controlled, but they're not fully controlled by that being. Do you get what I'm saying?
But you tell me where they explain that in this movie then.
Oh, that's just you knowing some technical stuff. That's like me explaining to him about the bones because he didn't understand what she was doing. It's like having an understanding of spiritual and mythological creatures, but that's just me analyzing shit and comparing shit that I've watched, because I watch a lot of mythological, spiritual stuff like that.
Anyways,
I'm just saying.
It is obvious that they're not always under control because I was just to say Mary and Stack obviously get away, so they obviously under control. But I will say,
like I said, it got to be a radius.
But they got away. They got away because he killed the vampire right after that. Yeah, no, he shouldn't have got to be able to get to him, but right away they got away. They got away because he killed the vampire right after that, right? I'm just saying, we see one scene where he's on top of his brother, about to kill him, and then it flashes to the next scene with Preacher Man, and he's right behind him. And my first thing was like, how the fuck did he get there? Like, how did he get there? You know what I mean? So
okay, but at that point, didn't Sammy harm him? No, I'm just saying, like, if he was harmed at some point, then he broke the trance.
I'm just a bunch of vampires out there, so how did he slide through those vampires to get the Remy? It's a good point.
And then
because even when they're dancing, Cornbread stopped dancing and noticed old boy trying to get into the door, and he like, oh, let me go get. So it's like,
and then all the good stuff was in the trailer. They should have never did that. They should have never showed you everything that was.
I said all the that's one thing I said I didn't like
in the trailer. You know what I mean? So
I get it.
Okay. Like, there's nothing new, you know. So, like, other than that, my favorite scene, or one of my favorite characters, is Little Preacher Man. His singing was on point. And then when they did that scene where they were mixing the future and the past and all of that stuff, that was absolutely amazing. That was one of the best things I've seen in a movie. So I definitely, I really liked that. Yeah. But I just, like, to be honest with you, I got to the point where I was like, okay, can we just end this movie now? Like, can it end? Because I was just bored with it. I was really
2
bored.
hours is a long time. I feel like people attention span is not equipped to watch 2 hour movies anymore. Um, just being honest.
It
But
depends because
I feel
I
like it
like
was a lot of
Magazine
talking, but I feel
Dreams.
like the talking was necessary. No, but that's like Don't Worry, Darling. That shit did not need to be 2 hours. Like the fuck?
Which Magazine Dreams?
No, Don't Worry, Darling. That shit didn't need to be two
Oh.
hours. They could have cut so
Oh.
much out of that.
Yeah, you see, but that's the thing. I don't really mind if it's 2 hours. Like for Magazine Dreams, it was like a 2 hour movie, but I was enjoying the movie, and there's like no action. It's a slow burn movie, but I really
Just say
enjoyed
you needed
it.
subtitles. Just say you needed subtitles.
No,
'cause
I
the country
understood what they were
accent.
saying. No,
And
I
I love
understood the country. I listen to you guys all the time. Why would I not understand the country?
Because that's Mississippi country. That's different. That's like when New Orleans
I
people
can watch
talk,
The
man.
Dark
That's
Knight.
totally different.
It's 2 hours.
Well,
That's
well,
about
I'm gonna tell you this.
watch.
I'm
I know you make it.
I'm Canadian, so New Orleans country and Memphis country, they all sound the same to me. You know.
Oh no, it's
country.
very. Oh my God, that is so different. New Orleans country versus Memphis country, so different. So
I'm
different.
sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But my Canadian bias makes it sound the same to me.
Like they just all think we sound like hillbillies. It's okay. Did not deny it. Did not deny it. You heard the laugh.
I appreciate build up, Alonzo. I appreciate the build up. I like getting this character development. I like seeing and getting an understanding of where these brothers was coming from and what they was going through as far as trying to get this juke joint going and the characters they had coming around them, so I could care about them. That's why I needed that deposition with them. I wanted to care about them because if I just got it going straight into the vampires and everything, it would be like, why do I care who got bit or whatever? Now, once again, I respect your opinion as far as you saying you got bored because this is what I was saying. I told Nadia this. I kind of could, for beat know who was going to die and what was about to happen. I kind of could see it, but it still didn't hurt for me and how I felt about the movie, especially once we started getting certain dialogue with the vampire and Michael B. Jordan's character and his brother once he got turned and all of that. I didn't mind it. And we got characters, like I said, that we cared about, like Ann and even Delroy Lindo's character as far as Delta Slim. I didn't mind.
Oh, I love the jump cuts. That was so interesting. That kept my interest.
But I respect your opinion.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's not a trash movie. I'm not gonna say that. There's a lot of good things in it. Just for me, it was just way too slow. I wanted more. You know.
More vampires.
Maybe if I had went into it knowing it, because I don't really consider it a vampire movie. I think the vampires are like pretty much second place or whatever is going on. So if I had maybe went into it knowing that, I maybe would have probably felt different about it, you know? Because once the action started, I was like, finally. Well, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Because it has a similar setup, you know?
Yeah, but what
what?
I find about, I said Catherine Zeta-Jones, so that should say it all. But but another thing about Dusk Till Dawn, I think it didn't take that long to get to the good stuff. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I wasn't really feeling about this one too. I found like the killing with the blood and everything felt a lot of Quentin Tarantino, and I didn't like that. You know, the way the blood was splashing out and all kinds of
crazy looking.
Yeah, you know what
blood
I mean?
squirting.
Yeah, the way it was going on, I was like, that's
some bones, like blood a little bit, like the color.
Yeah, like that's, yeah, the blood looked fake too.
The blood was giving paint.
yeah.
I see some bones a little bit. I'm just saying. I don't know if it was because of the time. I've seen some bones a little bit. Snoop Dogg. I still enjoy it. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. It didn't take me out of nothing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the violence too. I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah, violence was good. That's when it picked up. You know what I mean? When the vampire stuff happened, that's when it picked up. I was like, okay, this is good. But again, they ruined it by showing everything in the trailer.
They did. And I don't even think that was on him. Like I said, studios and shit. I think they were Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they make the trailers.
There's vampires in it. There's vampires in it.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't have showed no vampires, could you imagine people saying word of mouth like, "Oh, y'all know what's going on in the movie? It's vampires in them."
Yeah,
remember how they did with think about Get Out. People didn't know the half of the shit that was going on with Get Out. Word of mouth started happening with, bro. You gotta go see Get Out. The way, man, you gotta go see Get Out.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I respect your opinion. I do. Like I said, we kind of talk about what people could have been took out with certain elements of the film, like the musical aspects. A lot of people could have said this is a musical because there's a lot of music in here.
No, this was not Idlewild. Idlewild was a musical. Oh, but yeah, you should check out Idlewild, but I don't know if you like it.
Idlewild. I know the name. It's the name. Movie's just not.
Outcast. It's good.
It's Outcast. Outcast.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pass.
Nah, it's got a good cast. It got Terrence Howard, Vig Rhames. It's got
Oh yes, it got a really good cast. Yes.
Surprising.
Okay. I mean, it's 2 hours, so you know. And they literally
just got to keep my interest. You know what I mean? Got to be about something. Can't just be.
It has a good storyline, but it is definitely a musical. But it has a good storyline. And the musical is the musical aspect of it is rap and hip hop and jazz like type of shit. So it's not like yeah.
Did you do Daredevil tonight?
No, we're gonna do it tomorrow. A couple of people couldn't make it.
Okay, so. Hit me with the link. I'll join. I'm not doing nothing more. I definitely gotta get my opinion on this shit.
I will.
But once again, shout out to everybody coming through tonight. Appreciate y'all and y'all opinions. Shout out to Anzo. Once again, y'all go check out Bigger Fort Entertainment. He did do a live on this as far as Sinners. And Perk Minded, I think he's doing a live tonight, right now, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure y'all go check him out. And let me see. Tuesday, like I said, we're gonna try to come back and give y'all something. Like I said, I'm trying to do a fit schedule as far as weekly now. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Hopefully, we stick to that schedule and y'all will see us. But other than that, I am gonna try to join Anzo tomorrow for Daredevil Born Again season finale review. I got a lot to say about that, so definitely come through. I'll be joining him over there. Other than that, y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we get out of here?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to AP. Shout out to everybody that was in the comments. Tony, appreciate you coming through. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. I'm going to try to upload some new Power reviews next week to make sure y'all get caught up as far as Book 3, Raising Kanan. Other than that, we out.
Hey.